It's time for our final episode of Owen's tenure here on You Had to Be There.
Who's so unexpected?
Is Tony McGregor afraid of you all?
Of course he is.
You had to be there.
While second place Cork City visit Galway United.
You had to be there.
It's the perfect place for a draft. 150,000 people here.
You had to be there.
Nice.
So in our production meeting, I had come up with a list of 5 you had to be there. But we're not doing that, Owen. It's your final day. We couldn't let you away without playing the hits.
Oh,
We have 5 hits.
Nashville is definitely coming up here, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is buried deep in the recesses of the OTB AM vault. But there was a period of time once where crossover fights were a big thing. You know, like Jake Paul, the influencers, that kind of stuff.
Oh
And
my
that took
God.
off. And you could have been one of those. You could be doing pay-per-view now, getting concussions
Yeah.
for hundreds of millions if you just had followed through.
Do you know what? Like, I'm not sure. Is there more you want to say first before I just like?
No, you go for it.
I got an email off TMZ that week being like, "Will you do an interview on our platform?" And I was advised not to do it until the fight had been announced.
Oh no! Was that us who did advise you not to do it?
Yeah.
Was that me? I'm
It
sorry.
wasn't you. I'm not going to.
Adrian Barry.
No.
It must have been Nathan Murphy.
No, no. And obviously, it didn't happen.
Oh, you gotta. Gore
couldn't
Vidal says, never turn down the opportunity to have sex or appear on TV, and that is advice you must live your life by, particularly as you're going on holidays now.
Yeah.
If you can get on TMZ, you got to take it.
It was mad. Like the Irish Sun did a couple of brilliant pieces throughout it. Like BBQ Sports had it up at one point, and like I was getting messages of people that I vaguely know from America being like, "We just appeared on Barstool," and that was pretty wild.
Let's have a look. Achievement unlocked.
As they say, but he's been back in the gym. Pow reads the Snapchat pencil on this pad work at the Boxing Academy there, and he posts up a video of said pad work.
You'd kill him all. I think you'd take him.
No.
Genetics, though.
No?
No. Could we go Tony McGregor into fighting Owen in blue collar boxing?
That would raise a lot of money.
Would you fight him, Owen?
I would totally fight this guy.
Would you?
Yeah, I'm calling him out right now. Tony McGregor.
Look down the lens on and tell him you're coming
Pad
from.
work is kind of terrifying. One more video, more pad work, I guess is how we'll tee this up.
No one gives me coinage.
So there you go. In case you were ever wondering what makes Conor McGregor so great, there's your answer.
Right, happy days. So are you calling him out? You want to just do it down the lens?
I'm not going to...
Do it, Owen.
That pad work kind of scared me, guys. So
A minute ago you said you could take him.
What?
A minute ago you said you could take him.
Yeah, I would, but...
Tell him you take him.
I want to spare the poor old man's head. That's a joke.
Oh.
It didn't stop there though. That went further. Do we have another clip of this? No. Is that no? Okay. There was a fight video made, and then a fight poster got made, and he accepted the challenge, and then you were in the Sun. It was like, and I hadn't realised it had gone all the way to Barstool, but unfortunately the fight didn't get made. Do you think he would have killed you?
Yes. Yeah. Because we were going for like, it was supposed to be like a...
This was real. We were getting down to like venues and stuff. And
Yes, 'cause that's why I was told to hold off on doing the TMZ interview, because we could have used that to promote the actual fight when it was done, because it'd obviously be a massive platform and online viewers or whatever. So that's why I was told to hold off. So there was reason to it.
in retrospect, you get it out on TMZ, and then they check back in on you when the thing is announced, and
Yeah,
then they check
yeah.
back in again, and it's like...
Yeah, that would have been the way to do it, but that's not how it happened. It was supposed to be Valentine's Day. Remember, it was supposed to be the Valentine's Day massacre, and I think it was just before Christmas maybe, because I remember going to Berlin around that time and Krakow, and I burst my face open around that time. So I remember thinking, like, I have to get back and actually train. I've got like 3 months.
This is going to ruin it.
As I realised with like a triathlon a couple of years later and stuff like that, 3 months even from a base of 0 is not enough to become a finely tuned athlete, it turns out.
Number 4 is the Mayo documentary. We're just going to play this in full. We'll come back to you on the other side of this. It's only a minute and 30 seconds, but it's literally the greatest thing that we've ever done on any of our platforms in the 20 years that Off the Ball has existed. This is the high water mark. Enjoy.
You're welcome along to Elvery's McHale Park here in Castlebar, where Mayo GEA have called an emergency county board meeting. Now, media are not permitted to attend that meeting, so you might be asking yourself the question, why am I here? Well, to be honest with you, I'm asking myself the same question. So the emergency meeting is taking place behind those doors at the moment. Rumour has it that there is a shoot-on-sight policy for any journalist that enters the room. You may have thought Ross Kemp in Afghanistan was something, but this is way bigger. Going into that room right now for me would be like living in the German Democratic Republic 35 years ago and trying to hop the Berlin Wall. A rather startling discovery here in McHale Park. As you can see, a lot of sand here on the back of this tractor. Where do you think this sand came from? That's right. It came from the graves they've already dug for the journalists at the back, those journalists that they find upstairs. So that right there behind me is where the meeting is taking place. You can see a little bit of light peeking through the curtains. But if you're a journalist who walks into that room, light will never peek into your life ever again. So we're here at the shop, and it turns out that controversially, Elvery's McHale Park only stocks yellow snacks. Where are the pink snacks at? Clearly the best snack. Also controversially, the shop is closed on what is one of the biggest nights in Mayo GEA's year. Couldn't catch me out though. Bring your own food ahead of the game. And I knew it would be an extra long meeting, so I've gone for a Twix Extra. Absolute 10 out of 10 chocolate bar.
This was very good. You're allowed to laugh at your own stuff.
Ah, no. That was a fun night. Yeah, Mick Burns after that as well, a particular highlight. I'm trying to think like what else kind of happened there. It was just I remember just being very cold and very lonely, and one of the county board officials like invited me up to like a separate office to go and have tea and sit down in the warmth, and I was like, I know what you're doing, you're trying to take me away, but actually I think he was just trying to be nice. And yeah, I think I tried to doorstep a few people from the county board that night, and they weren't having it. There was actual journalism done as well.
What was it the end of the Rochford era? Was it the end of what was going on?
It was 2019, so
this the restart of the
James Horn had just done 1 year, and it was over the benevolent fundraising.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was, and
right.
there was calls as a result of the fundraising to try and oust the county board.
Right.
And there were heads did roll after that for sure, and maybe there's still like a little bit of ill feeling. To this day, I imagine there'd have to be a bit of ill feeling to this day if heads rolled. So it was a fairly turbulent time in Mayo, and I think that was just Nathan's idea to send a reporter down there. There was somebody from one of the local papers, I do believe, there as well, who just popped in for a bit and was like, screw this, there's something happening, getting out of there. But I wasn't driving at the time, and I was staying down there for the night. I was like, what else would I be at? Like, I'm just going to stand here and wait for things to happen.
Your food review videos was something that comes up all the time in feedback for your high water mark and best moments and stuff. I don't know if there's any specific food in Japan that sticks out for you.
Yeah, one that I didn't review was a fish scrap soup, which is as bad as you might have expected. Like the food there was obviously unbelievable by and large. But I remember being like, oh, that'll be a fun thing to review. And once I looked at it, I was like, no, I'm just going to get in and out of this place ASAP. And it didn't even make it to air. There was nothing, no content.
It looked so gross.
And it tasted so gross as well. I did have a few spoonfuls, and it was bony.
Okay, so that's on the cutting room floor. One of the things that wasn't on the cutting room floor was when Cian Healy visited us in studio.
God.
Have a look at this.
It smells amazing.
Yeah.
Tommy was asking me to drink some of the barbecue.
Have a taste.
We go for it. We can cut this out afterwards if this doesn't go well, you know.
Oh, you're slugging. Oh, go for it.
Wow. Yeah, so did I. That would have been a way better idea. Just put my finger in. I actually just drank a bit of barbecue sauce. Eyes are watering,
my life.
but it's amazing. How are you?
How are you?
Like, it's a high bar. Like, but that's one
Take
of the most,
this, like, how are you?
one of the most awkward things I've ever done in my life. Like, that is really saying something. That is just like,
Oh, you're going to drink it. And then you actually drank it. And then you're pretending you didn't.
that time I forgot I had fingers.
And then the interview just proceeded as normal. And
Yeah.
like I'd say the whole time your innards are like, well, maybe I should have had some steak with that.
Yeah, like imagine what, like, Cian Healy goes out to the press guy afterwards. So how was the interview? Yeah, it was
Weirdo.
totally normal.
Biggest freak of all time.
Yeah.
He likes just a slug of the barbecue sauce. I don't know if that's going to help sales or not. It's good barbecue sauce.
It was very good barbecue sauce,
Yeah.
must be said. Yeah.
You left that open one in the office in the studio for about a year afterwards.
Oh my God, that's.
It lay there as an artifact to the majesty of the moment.
I think it was right before the World Cup as well, and I was like, I've got to actually, deal with these people on a fairly regular basis. It's like.
They're like, oh, here comes Barbecue Sam. Yeah. So was that where your food review started? Was that where you actually?
I don't know. Possibly. The food reviews was that was an Adrian Barry kind of that was his idea. I think there had to be just an extra bit of content or something out there.
The team that parties and bonds together stays together is the other adage that we've largely ripped off from other sports. We all grew up on those legendary nights out drinking that bonded teams together and made them stick forever. And some of our best nights out ever would have been at the Imros, for example.
Oh my God. You're not going to do this, are you?
The PPIs. And here's the thing, right? John commended Owen's professionalism, and literally he has always shown up. Every time
God.
he has been asked to show up, he has shown up and has always at least delivered something on the day when it was there's no video for this, it's just audio. This is a sports bulletin on News Talk in I don't know what year.
2016.
You knew, right?
Oh, I know exactly what this is. This is.
Have a listen.
Starting with soccer, and the Ireland squad will hold a run out later today ahead of their World Cup qualifier against Moldova tomorrow night. Shane Long's expected to take part in the workout at the Match Stadium after shaking off the knock he suffered during Thursday's win over Georgia. Jeff Hendrick, meanwhile, will also train with the squad. The Burnley midfielder has travelled to Moldova despite being suspended for tomorrow's game. Meanwhile, the Ireland under-19s are also on the qualifying trail. They face Gibraltar in their Group 4 clash today at 1 p.m. Later tonight here at home, the two top sides are back in action in the Airtricity League Premier Division. League leaders Dundalk host Sligo Rovers in Oriel Park, while second place Cork City visit Galway United. Both of those games will kick off at 7 p.m, while the action to the City Calling Stadium gets underway half an hour later as Longford Town host fourth place Derry City. In the First Division, Limerick will entertain Drogheda United at Markets Field, where there's a 5:30 kick-off, and Cove Ramblers entertain Cavan Teely from 7:15 p.m. In rugby, Connacht defeated Ulster last night in the first of this weekend's Inter-Pro derbies in the Guinness Pro 12. Pat Lamb's side registered a bonus point on their way to a 30 points to 25 win at the Sports Ground, which saw Ulster suffer their first defeat of the season.
Yeah.
This afternoon, the focus switches to the Aviva, where Leinster and Munster will renew their rivalry for the Guinness Pro 12. Kick-off at the Aviva Stadium today is at 2:05. Meanwhile, in golf, Ross Fisher leads the field by a shot at the start of the third round at the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship. The Englishman resumes from 11 under par this morning. Shane Lowry is the best of the Irish players on 5 under par, just ahead of Graham McDowell. And finally, in racing, there's action today in Limerick and in Ferryhouse, with both tracks staging 8 race cards. The McMahon's Munster Mile Handicap is the big prize on offer in Limerick, where the first race is off at 1:10, and the opening race in Ferryhouse is at 1:55. For News Talk Sport, I'm Eoin
I was
Sheahan.
enthusiastic. I just made it through bulletin without making a complete. It's actually a lot better than I thought it would be.
It is.
So I've never listened back to that, but I do know that there was audio there of me. Just basically still up from the night before and didn't quite realise what the Imros was going to be. It was my first Imros. Like, no, Nathan's waiting outside. I remember him driving me down the night before, listening to your interview with Lance.
Oh, it's that year.
Yeah,
right?
it was that year. So that was like, it was just, everybody was on such a high, I think, on that Friday, because there was like genuinely one of the best interviews off the ball I'd ever done. And I think there's probably was there a show in maybe, or maybe just like Joe just one of his million Imros or something like that. There was good news on the night anyway, and it was a very enjoyable night. And I remember coming in the next day and
How did you get back here?
So I got the train, but the thing is, the train works were actually under maintenance, so I actually had to get off and hop on a bus at Naas or wherever in Kildare it is, and get the bus into Houston. So that was bad. But I remember Ger Tracy, who's now working with Virgin Media Sport, was working on the News Talk Sports desk as well, or the Today FM Sports desk, whatever it was, beside me that morning. And the way she looked at me that morning, I knew I was in trouble. Like, she was like, "Yeah, you just want me to read for you? I can just do your bulletins."
That's very kind of her.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to brazen this out. What could go wrong?
What could I'm here now.
It's true. I think, again, as I say, the best ability is availability, and you made yourself available for selection that day, as you did to, you saw Kindred Spirit when there was a reporter looking for some drunk people. You volunteered, and maybe this was the birth of everything. Here he is in Nashville, Tennessee.
It's a perfect place for a draft. 150,000 people here tonight. 150,000 people. What an amazing town. The perfect environment for a draft. It was in New York for what, 2 million years? And now they finally came to Nashville. Now they finally came to Nashville.
That's our Uber right there. Would you like to see him stay here?
Yes, of course. This place is the perfect place for the NFL draft. Every pick got a cheer except for Roger Goodell.
My absolute highlight of lockdown was when we reunited everybody from that video. And, and we surprised you.
I'm going to meet that guy in next week.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm going to meet Brent Romanda next week. He's based in Austin now. I'm going to try and go to the University of Texas game, and he says he's going to try and meet me beforehand. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get a ticket, but I'll try and meet up with him. And again, just one of those mornings that it was just full of the fear. Like,
what tickets do you need? Tell us now.
I need
Come on,
8.
everybody out there, write this down, stick it out, tell your friends. What tickets do you need?
I would like to have a ticket for the University of Texas against Alabama. They're playing on Saturday week. It is obviously a very, very big fixture. Tickets are very, very kind of hard to get and expensive. And yes, of course, I shot my shot and tried to say that, I work for a media organisation, give me accreditation, and it was met with a hard no. So I've tried the media avenue, but
Games on in Austin.
Games on in Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also check out like Lance's little coffee shop and his bike shop. And
I might actually pop in there, see what the crack is there. But if anybody has tickets, let me know.
Right. Get him tickets. Come on, you can do that. You're watching this morning, you can definitely get him tickets for that. Someone somewhere knows somebody to get him in. Maybe even to a box. Who knows?